Let's welcome today's next speaker, Mr. Jeffrey Rumberg, managing partner at MetricNet LLC. Jeff will be discussing the vital role that metrics play in optimizing AI driven service and support operations. Welcome, Jeff. Thank you for joining us today. Great to have you here.
Thanks a lot, Matt. It's always a pleasure to be here. It's great to see you. It's great to be a presenter at this event. Let's talk about what AI is as it relates to IT service management. There is no consensus definition right now, but in an attempt to create a control volume around what is and is not AI and machine learning, at the far left end of the spectrum, we have probably the simplest of technologies, self-help, self-service. And on the far right-hand side, we have the most advanced of the AI and machine learning technologies that are applied to IT service management. Now, on the far left, self-help, self-service, that's agentless, but it typically does not include any machine learning or artificial intelligence. Generally, what would happen is that a customer would go into a portal, a knowledge portal, they would search for an answer to their question. There might be some basic logic there, some if this, then that logic that helps the customer find an answer to their question. Some do consider this a basic form of AI. It doesn't matter whether it is or is not, but what I'm trying to do is frame the scope of today's discussion. If we move a little bit to the right, we have auto password resets. Once again, this is agentless. Typically, there's not a lot of machine learning involved, but some people would consider this to be AI since it is agentless. Then you have voice and chat bots as we become more mature, more technology. Most of the voice and chat bots are rules-based, meaning that the humans are the ones that create the rules that govern the voice and chat bots. But we are seeing products on the market now that incorporate machine learning. They train themselves and they get smarter over time in the voice and chat recognition. Now, an often overlooked benefit of AI is the automation of idle practices, specifically the big three when it comes to a service desk. Those would be your problem, knowledge, and incident management. Now, I'll take a little bit of a deeper dive on that as I go further into my presentation, but this isn't talked about very much. Historically, many of our clients have not gained much traction when it comes to idle. They don't have specific benefits that they can point to as a result of their idle efforts. By benefits, I'm talking about cost, quality, and cycle time, the so-called better, faster, cheaper. I've always thought that you should be able to tie that to your idle efforts. Many of our clients are unable to do that, but what we're starting to see now with some of the more advanced machine learning tools is that problem, incident, and knowledge management are being automated. And there are great benefits that come from that in terms of reduced ticket volume, reduced handle time, improved first contact resolution rate, and customer satisfaction. Moving yet further to the right, we have anomaly detection, meaning that the AI detects abnormalities in the IT environment. So, for example, if your service desk is used to handling 50 Outlook calls a day or 100 electronic medical calls per day related to an application like Epic, and suddenly those numbers spike twofold, threefold, or even tenfold, that would be considered an anomaly. And the AI could either send an alert to IT or it could investigate. It could even self-correct. It might take a machine out of service. There's a lot of things that can happen after anomaly detection. But the detection of the anomaly by itself is really just kind of the first step in either issuing an auto alert or preemptively eliminating or correcting the particular issue. Now, the term zero touch has become fairly commonplace. Some people assume this means zero tickets. That's not necessarily true. I believe it means zero human intervention as opposed to zero tickets. I think tickets will never go away entirely, and we will also never reach zero touch, just like we never reached 100% quality or zero defects during the quality movement of the 90s and the 2000s. Nevertheless, zero touch is aspirational, and it's a goal worthy of striving towards, and you can certainly make continuous progress towards achieving zero touch. Now, a little bit of background on AI and machine learning. The transformation that we're going through right now in technical service and support, as well as contact centers and many other services, We've done this multiple times before over the last 10,000 years. For example, in agriculture, between roughly 1800 and the year 2000, 200 years, the amount of farmland worldwide increased 100-fold, but the number of farmers decreased by 99%. So what we had was a twofold, or I should say, 2 orders of magnitude increase in farmland and a 2 orders of magnitude decrease in the number of farmers as a result of technology during the industrial age. These are large-scale machines that would till the soil, plant the crops, harvest the crops, bale them, and so on. Just one example of how technology dramatically changed an industry. A more recent example can be found in the auto industry. The picture on the left is from the 1960s. It's an assembly line at the General Motors production plant. You can see that it's very labor intensive. There's a lot of laborers working to assemble those automobiles. On the right-hand side is a more recent picture of an auto assembly line. There's virtually no manual labor. What there are instead are bots. You've got welding bots, painting bots, assembly bots. And instead of laborers on the assembly line, what you have are engineers that work behind safety glass that monitor the bots and tell the bots what to do. By the same token, and by the way, the title of this slide, Past is Prologue, is from a Shakespeare play called The Tempest. That play was written about 410 years ago, 412 years ago. And in its most benign form, what it means is that we can learn from the past and apply those lessons to the future. In its more aggressive interpretation, it says that we can predict the future based upon the past. And so if we apply this to what's going on now in IT service and support, we have a very labor-intensive industry on the left-hand side. In fact, 2/3 of all costs in IT service and support is labor-related. That is personnel, technicians, supervisors, team leads, workforce schedulers, QA, QC people, and the like. On the right-hand side is my crude attempt to portray what an AI-enabled service and support environment would look like. And so the same transformation that has happened in multiple industries before is going to happen in this industry. Technology, in large part, is about replacing human labor with technology to reduce the cost, improve the quality, improve cycle times, and so on and so forth. But today's presentation is about metrics. And to frame the discussion, let me share with you 22 of the most common service desk metrics. There are literally hundreds of them out there, so this is not an all-inclusive list. I call these legacy service desk metrics because these are the metrics that we typically look at in a non-AI machine learning environment. They're also the metrics that we use when we benchmark a service desk. The taxonomy is in the blue boxes: cost, quality, productivity metrics, analyst service level, ticket handling metrics. These were very effective metrics in a pre-AI, pre-machine learning environment. But the metrics in an AI machine learning environment are very different. Instead of looking at cost per ticket and cost per minute of handle time, we're looking at total cost of ownership, which is the sum of the cost of support at all levels in the organization, everything from the level 1 service desk to vendor support, and everything from AI machine learning to self-help, self-service. We have volume metrics, and the volume metrics are about the reduction in volume over time. Tickets per user per month, is that going down? Tickets avoided, and the percent of tickets resolved without the assistance of an agent. Productivity metrics, it's not focused on the productivity of the service desk or the desktop support organization, but rather the productivity that's returned to the end users. Quality, we still care about customer satisfaction in the agentless channels. Service levels primarily mean time to resolve. And then ITIL maturity. I've already mentioned ITIL once. Problem, incident, knowledge management, the big three when it comes to a service desk. Tracking these metrics, and when these metrics are moving in the right direction, we know that we are getting traction. We know that we are having success with our AI initiatives. So let's talk about the economics of shift left, because a lot of AI can be understood by looking at the cost of tickets at various levels of support. On the far left, what we have is a machine learning tool that seeks and destroys, seeks anomalies, searches out abnormalities in the IT environment, and then eliminates them preemptively. Level -1 would be problem management. That's the ITIL term. It used to be called root cause analysis. It's really just the same thing. Level -0.5, I just recently added this to represent voice and chat bots. Depending on the volume that you have going through voice and chat bots, your direct cost is going to be somewhere in the order of $2 And then we have self-help, self-service. Once again, the direct cost of the tool is about $2. However, the lost productivity when an end user goes to a self-help, self-service portal can be fairly significant. So the cost is actually quite a bit more than $2. But what I've shown here is the direct cost. And by the way, these are numbers from 2023, fully loaded cost of a ticket at various levels of resolution. Service desk tickets, $22. Desktop support tickets, $69. These are averages. The extremes, the min and the max, are several standard deviations away from these averages. So for example, a desktop ticket could be resolved for as little as $20 in North America or as much as $2,000 in North America. Likewise, level 3 IT support, we've seen tickets as low as $30. We've seen tickets as high as several $1,000s. Field support, average $221 per ticket. Vendor support, average $600 per ticket. Now, one of the keys to AI and machine learning is that you want to move tickets to the left. That's what shift left is. It reduces the cost per ticket, and eventually tickets fall off the left-hand side of this diagram. Through seek and destroy or problem management, the best ticket is the ticket that never happens. And that can happen through shift left, enabled by AI and machine learning. Let's go back to our list of AI and ML metrics. What happens to them? TCO should go down. Tickets on a per capita basis should decrease. Tickets avoided as a result will go up. Agentless resolution, percent of tickets resolved without the assistance of an agent, will increase. Productivity returned to end users, a metric that has historically not been tracked but can be quite easily. That number should go up. CSAT, you don't want to sacrifice that for the sake of automation, but CSAT should go up. Mean time to resolve should go down. Problem incident knowledge management should all become more mature. Now, I want to share with you an AI case study from one of the largest insurance companies in North America. On the upper half of this diagram, what you're seeing is the shift left diagram. In the lower half, what you're seeing is a table of what happened within this organization over the course of 1 year as they initiated various AI and machine learning projects and also made every effort to mature their problem incident and knowledge management. So you can see we started the year with 68,350 end users, finished the year with 71,600 end users. When we started, there was no level -2 or level -1 resolution, level -2 being the seek and destroy bots, level -1 being the problem management. By the end of the year, level -2, they were preventing about 4,700 tickets per month, and they were eliminating through problem management about 3,600 tickets per month. Now, without going through every number, let me draw your attention to the far right-hand column. We can see that at the start of this initiative, they had almost 200,000 tickets per month. This is a big organization. The average cost per ticket fully loaded was about $51. And in the course of a year, at every level of support, TCO, total cost of ownership, was about $116 million. The end of the year, they had reduced their ticket volume to 116,000. Cost per ticket went up. That's okay, because our TCO went down. Cost per ticket went up to $57. That's because when you shift left, what you get is a more complex ticket set. You shift left the easy stuff, but to the level you shift to, they appear to be more complex tickets. So we reduced our ticket volume, cost per ticket went up, but our TCO went down to about $79.5 million. So overall, we saw a $37 million reduction in TCO. Keys to their success: they put a performance target in place for every AI metric. They put in place voice and chat bots. They automated their knowledge incident problem management. And they had an AI tool that had genuine level -2 seek and destroy machine learning capabilities. Let me show you what their performance was at the start of the initiative, and then 1 year later, what it looked like. You can see their TCO. Their performance goal on TCO was to get to 80 million. They achieved that goal. That's why that's green on the right-hand column. Tickets per user per month, their goal was to get to 1.5. By the way, the industry average is about 1.1 ticket per user per month. They didn't quite hit that goal. They expected to avoid 25,000 tickets per month. They didn't quite hit that goal. Keep in mind that when they started this initiative, they had no idea how to set their performance targets. And so many of these are fairly arbitrary. Their agentless resolution went from 1% to 14%. Their goal was 50%. Here again, arbitrary goal. I think this was an overwhelming success despite the fact that they didn't hit all of their goals. They wanted to return 1 million hours of productivity, which is roughly the equivalent of 500 FTEs. They wanted to return 1 million hours of productivity to their end users. They returned about 900,000 hours of productivity. Their CSAT went up. Their mean time to resolve went down. They did not formally measure the maturity of their ITIL problem incident knowledge management. Our estimation is that on a scale of 1 to 5, we believe that they were roughly at a 4. Directionally, that's probably accurate, a level of 4 on problem incident and knowledge management. Now, I'm going to take questions in just a moment. I know I'm starting to eat into our break time here, but I do want to point your attention, without going into detail, to an actual business case. Different company. It wasn't the insurance company. This was a consumer beverage company in the United States. You would know who they are if I gave you the name, but this was their business case for an initiative that they undertook a couple of years ago. They're now into the 3rd year of this initiative. And what you can see is what their projections were for the adoption of AI and machine learning. What's the impact on their channels, agent assist, robotic process automation, which is what they call their voice and chat bots, and then ticket reduction through problem management, endpoint bots, and machine learning AI. You can see what they were expecting was an ROI in year 3 of 2,500%, which means a 25x return on their investment in AI and machine learning. Now, I covered that fairly quickly, but I do want to take any questions that you might have. And Matt, I don't know if I should read those or if you're going to read those questions off for me, but I'd be happy to take a few questions, mindful of the fact that I'm now into people's break time.
Excellent. Well done, Jeffrey. You are always on point with the data and the proof, and that's something I really appreciate about you.
Thank you.
Some questions that we have. Ryan Bankston, number 1, he wants your deck because he always loves your decks. So he's wondering if he can get a copy of that.
Yeah, I've sent the PDF to SDI.
Okay.
So perhaps SDI can comment on how
Cool.
the listeners can access that deck.
Yeah. Ryan, we will get you that. I know I've got your contact information, so we'll make sure that you get that. If anyone else is interested, throw your name in chat. We'll see what we can do. A really good question here, and I love this one. Don McLean said specifically, how would an organization measure the volume of tickets avoided?
On a monthly basis, what you want to look at is tickets per user per month, and that number should be going down. So let's say in 1 month, we go from 2 tickets per user per month to 1.9 tickets per user per month. That's a savings of 1/10 of a ticket per user per month. If you have 10,000 users in your organization, times 1/10, that's a savings. That's a reduction of 1,000 tickets per month in total. So you have to look at the reduction in tickets per user per month. The assumption, of course, is that your problem management and your shift left and your level -2 machine learning AI tools are largely driving that reduction in ticket volume. Can we tie those definitively? No, we can't. Nevertheless, the reduction in ticket volume is directionally accurate. So you want to be tracking that metric. Tickets per user per month should be going down each month. Take that number, reduction in tickets per user per month, multiply it by the number of users you have, and that's your reduction in ticket volume on a monthly basis. Add that up over the course of a year. That's your annual reduction in ticket volume. Keep in mind that on average, every time you eliminate a ticket, you save a user about an hour of productive time. So if you want to get a real rough idea of the return productivity to your end users, if you reduce your ticket volume over the course of a year by 5,000 a month or 60,000 tickets per year, that's 60,000 hours of savings. Typical work year is 2,000 hours. So you're saving about the equivalent of 30 FTEs when you do that. So good rule of thumb, every time you eliminate a ticket, you're saving about an hour of productivity for your end users.
I love that number. That is super useful to have. I also really love the total cost of ownership case study that you shared. I hope that it looks like this is finally the end of phone support. Like maybe we will kill phone support finally with these tools. That's what it looks like anyway.
I say we also kill self-help, self-service, Matt, because the economics just don't work there. I showed you the cost, $2. That's the direct cost to the support organization. But the lost productivity when users go to a self-help, self-service portal is far greater than the cost of going to level one support. So I've done a 180 on this. I was a big advocate for driving volume into self-help, self-service. But
Yeah.
I've now seen enough data to convince me that when a user goes to a self-help, self-service portal, they lose more productive time. The quantified value of that, or the monetized value of the productive time they lose in the self-help, self-service portal, is far greater than the cost of support from level one or desktop support or field services. So I say we kill that channel too.
Especially if it's poorly designed and not
Mhm.
working. Like, do a usability study, see how it's going for people, and adapt. Jeff, I want to thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for sharing so much great information. If you're interested in connecting with Jeff, find him on LinkedIn, or find him at the MetricNet website, and they can help you out. Thanks for your time today, Jeff.
Thank you so much, Matt.